Liverpool fan in Japan.
Hello YouTube, Liverpool fan in Japan here, the Miyazaki man Sai. Lots to talk about today. The Arne Slot era is now underway. Slot machine is up and running. We scored a 1-0 victory and Dominic Szoboszlai is the first scorer in Arne Slot era. Now there's so many things to talk about here, especially all of our number 10s. Did you see the wording in Curtis Jones and Arne Slot's pre-match interview? Did you see the post-match interview with Arne Slot as well? We've got so many number 10s in the squad, and yet specifically highlighted Harvey Elliott as a number 10, Dominic Szoboszlai as a number 10. What does that mean for Alexis McAllister? Is Curtis Jones a number 10? Let's get into it. But before we do, I'd like to welcome the newest members to the Liverpool Fan in Japan Club. Exori, Dafilo, Philip W, Yuri, Richard Anderson, LB, Joseph Metcalf. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. The latest chapter on Wataru Endo's book will be translated very shortly for your viewing pleasure. Much love and support, and for anyone else who wants to join, it's cheaper than a mediocre coffee a month. Why not? Give it a go. Now there are clear differences in the style of play of Arne Slot and Jurgen Klopp, and you can see it already. The players have even started talking around it. However, keep in mind for this particular match, right, Arne Slot mentioned the use of a dual number 10 system because we did not have an out-and-out striker, the focal point of attack up front. However, it was a very clever dual 10 system because it was a rotational dual 10 system. Whether it was Harvey Elliott, Mo Salah or Fabio Carvalho, they drifted into that 10 position and worked together. There were units of 2 all over the pitch. Now when you freeze frame certain moments in the match, you can see the partnership and the 2 shifted laterally to help each other in that particular phase of play. Now it was very interesting to see. Jurgen Klopp is more about position. Keep your position, wait for the point of attack to change into your position. If you can get yourself into the game-winning scenarios, the Mo Salah on the inside channel with Trent Alexander-Arnold on the right half space or Conor Bradley on the outside of him, or Lucho Diaz or Gakpo cutting inside with a Robertson around the outside of him. The game-winning scenarios, Sadio Mane cutting inside, Roberto Firmino dropping deep onto the top of the diamond with Mo Salah and Sadio Mane traversing into the inside channels. Once you've got that position, off you go like the Red Rockets, attack, pace, power, finesse, individual quality, make the goal happen. Whereas Arne Slot is very keen on starting a player in the congested area, giving them the ball into that congested space and trusting that they have the instincts and wherewithal to understand what they need to do with the ball to transition the ball into the next player who will make the magic happen. And that's very different than Jurgen Klopp, because Jurgen Klopp traditionally doesn't like to put players under pressure situation, and he's very happy to recycle the ball until a trigger point when the ball comes back and the players are in position. Then you launch the attack and off you go 100 miles an hour, very vertical based and penetrating through the diagonals as well. But first and foremost, let's get into what Curtis Jones was talking about in a pre-match interview. And this was blatantly blunt and honest. And there's definitely a few ways you can take this here. Now, some people have said that it was offensive to Jurgen Klopp. He's been saying this best methodology that suits his style of play, the training style, precise instructions on what he needs to do, building up through the midfield, utilising the midfield more as key prominent players in the build-up, rather than ends to a mean to get the ball to Mane, Salah, Firmino, Gakpo, Nunes, Lucho Diaz, that kind of thing, right? And for the type of player that Curtis Jones is, always wanting to show for the ball, always wanting to get his foot on the ball, sometimes holding the ball too long, but really having a prominent impact on the game, this style suits him to a T because he can roam in positions where he can offer himself as the outlet and get on the ball and make things happen. Now, this will be a big milestone in Curtis Jones's rising career. Can he get the ball and do something with it? Have an actual tangible impact in the game as opposed to just a functional cog in the system. He's been wanting the ball, he's been wanting the midfield to be presenting itself with the ball and utilising the midfield more to build up the play. So this is an opportunity to showcase it. And whilst he is very good at popping up on the wings to give the width and hold up the play, you wouldn't say he's the best pacey dribbler out wide or has the best delivery in terms of crossing the ball into central areas. So if Arne Slot keeps him within the central 10 roaming playmaking positions, then he literally has no excuse to not get his foot on the ball and actually have some tangible output, whether it's assist before the assist or signing the ball through or scoring some of those pot shots from range as well. But it's just a shame in the latest match as well, he pulled up with a niggling injury, and he hope it's not too bad because throughout his career he suffered with these really innocuous, dodgy injuries that's kept him out for prolonged periods of time and stunted his progress really. Because just when Klopp trusted him in the system, gave him his debut, gave him his extended run in the team, he pulls up with an injury and all that tactical progress is halted. So do I think Curtis Jones was having a go at Jurgen Klopp's previous regime and how he's utilised and old training methods? Not really. He's wanting to be the teacher's pet. He spots an opportunity to establish himself as first team member. He's seen how Arne Slot likes to play an emphasis on ball players, ball retainers, utilising the ball in the midfield. And he wants to be the teacher's pet. He wants to be the Adam Lallana to Jurgen Klopp's teacher's pet thing, which is McAllister to Jurgen Klopp previously in the last season, right? Curtis Jones wants to be that man that Arne Slot goes to for that central midfield role, and he really wants to start on the opening day. He's trying to big himself up, and he's always been a confident lad. So let's see if he can put his money where his mouth is, and if Arne Slot trusts him. And another interesting note, we're going to talk about Trey Nyoni, who came on to replace Curtis Jones, right? What a show of faith that is. And we're going to talk about Fabio Carvalho's prospects under Arne Slot, starting on the left wing, left-sided, wide playmaker who has a tendency to be more direct and go at the opposition and work a bit of magic for that shot as well. He's a little bit cuter on his cuts inside than, let's say, Harvey Elliott, who's more technical at roaming the ball and moving the ball around, a cultured left foot Harvey Elliott. We've got to talk about Tyler Morton as well, and his ability to shift the point of attack, dictate the play from the base, as well as a few more things to work on, such as in the sixth position we were dispossessed a few times. Endo, Tyler Morton, Bajcetic, turning the way out of trouble or not releasing the ball quick enough, turned over possession, allowed the opponents through their press opportunity to attack our goal and get a shot away. It's interesting how Arne Slot mentioned they only had one key opportunity against us in that particular match, and he really highlighted the passing phases of play that got us into prominent positions, which resulted in our goal, as well as other opportunities, such as when Harvey Elliott, late dummy runner, onto the right foot, air shot, whiffed the ball. But very encouraging to see the patterns of play developing, because that is what is going to be really exciting. And I'm going to show you what I mean by the Gravenberch ball, which is a fantastic ball utilised last season, which really got us on the front foot and got us some crucial attacking momentum. Trey Nyoni, 17 years old, absolutely showed the attributes in making of a world-class talent. Not the player, but think of the attributes of a Paul Pogba. Athletic, able to receive the ball under pressure, turn your way out of pressure, deliver a quality ball, composure to wait and move the ball, shift the ball onto your strong side into space before delivering a killer pass through the lines, okay? And Nyoni prominently was in this position. However, he could wiggle his way past the marker. Even if the marker was here, if he spots that a player is on this side, he is stronger on the right foot, he can shift with a piece of skill, turn the player before delivering the ball through the lines, okay? But what I mean by the Gravenberch ball is not necessarily to feet, okay? Endo did this on occasion as well. You put it into the position where the player has to come onto the ball facing forwards. Endo did the same thing in this kind of line here. Endo played a fantastic ball in the right wing, but a very obvious difference that Arne Slot seems to be emphasising is you play the ball in front of the player so they get the momentum to run on the ball. When we had the ball in defensive situations and we passed the ball into the wide channels, it wasn't a simple ball into this area here. It was the ball in front of him. You hit the ball into the space for the player to come onto. Trent would love this. Connor Bradley would absolutely love this. Robertson would love this as well. Not to feet, into the empty space where I expect you to be as soon as I release that ball. Now that is different than Jurgen Klopp, who goes backwards, waits for a trigger point. If when the ball is coming back to a Virgil van Dijk, he spots the player in the position where the ball should be going next, then you ping it, but you ping it to feet, you ping it to the man, onto the Mo Salah's chest, for example, against Arsenal, onto counter-attack. Whereas Jurgen Klopp will hit those long diagonals. Arne Slot is encouraging the build-up of play through the midfield and into the midfield. Left back, I see you there, but you know where? I want you here. So I'm going to play the ball with backspin, a weighted ball, and you drive into there. And when you receive the ball, looking forward, okay? Because you're coming onto the ball. And what does that mean? When the centre back is here, defensive midfielder is here, and the fullback is marking the winger, straight away, when you open your body up, okay? You're facing this direction, you play that ball, weighted ball, arced and curved there, and off you go Gakpo, Lucho Diaz, in and behind, and everyone, while he's running onto the ball, looking forwards, looking goalwards once again, you go to the back post, you go to the P spot, you don't halt your run, you go to the edge of the area, you wait for spillage, and the right winger backing up if it's overhit. And that is a passage of play that I love to see, because you put your own players on the front foot and make their decision for them. It's the same concept as when Trent Alexander-Arnold puts the ball on sixpence. He makes your mind up by the trajectory and the arc and the brilliance of the ball. It tells you whether you go with a volley, you go with a header, you take your touch. The ball determines everything, and Arne Slot is big on the ball, into your buddy, informing him what he needs to do, and pretty much breaking up the fear factor and the pressure factor, because you're trusting your buddy is making a run to the right position and knows what he needs to do next, because the next two players in that line of command know what they need to do as soon as you receive the ball to your feet. That is beautiful, exquisite, sexy Slot football. What a sexy, shiny man. I now understand what the Feyenoord fans are talking about. And something else I found really interesting about Arne Slot football, communication to the media. He is very open about what he's doing in training. They are training the passages of play against different formations, different style of build-up, different low blocks, how to beat different formations as well. And you can notice in this particular setup, the 4-2-4 on offensive transition is really overloaded with players making the runs into the right position to give the opportunity for that ball to be transitioned into them and to build up with your midfielders before they release that final ball to the player who's going to be decisive. Now, in Jurgen Klopp's system, you get the ball to Sadio Mane, you get the ball to Roberto Firmino, you get the ball to Mo Salah. The midfield players are a function and ends to a means to get the ball to your prominent players. Whereas in Arne Slot's system, they will be waiting and waiting to get involved in the play, but ultimately they are going to be the difference makers to make the right run at the right moment, drilled it into them to beat a tactical setup, a formation to set up to counteract them. That's going to be super fascinating. And what I mean by that is Fabio Carvalho, left-sided playmaker, dribbling inside, creating from the left-hand side. Lucho Diaz, direct, introverted winger who goes and tries to bend it into far corner. Let's see if he can do much on the outside. Cody Gakpo, great delivery from the left-hand side. Prominent shot, power runner as well. Dummy runner through the centre if he gets into half space. So many tactical options. But what that means is Arne Slot will be looking at players for their attributes and probably deploying them for specific games. Now, I imagine the midfield, Harvey, Elliott, moving the ball, rotating the ball, McAllister in between the lines. He won't be the number 10 because he's highlighted Szoboszlai, who's maybe not as strong as McAllister or Harvey Elliott or even Tyler Morton at shifting the ball and being involved in the build-up. But if Szoboszlai is on the end of the final ball or the final ball to the final man, that's probably better than Szoboszlai heavily involved in the build-up, because you saw on occasion he didn't quite get the ball to the right position to shift it on in a timely fashion. Mo Salah can do it, but he's very, very left-footed as well. So I think predominantly the build-up play will be involved with Endo, Tyler Morton, Bacetic, McAllister, Harvey Elliott, who are all very, very comfortable receiving the ball, giving the ball, receiving the ball, giving the ball. It might be a short ball game, it might be a simple ball game. But when you turn it on, Tyler Morton in that holding role can progress into the A position and transition a great ball through the lines. Endo can put the ball through the lines as well. That was more of a prominent attribute on viewing in this occasion than his defensive duties. I think we have a lot of ball players who can play the ball through the lines, and it'll be very, very interesting to see them build up the play until the right moment in time to spring that passage of play that they've worked on in training, and hopefully the fruits of the labour are there to see. And Trey Nyoni, once again, what a talent. He can really play ball. And obviously this is just the first glimpse of Arne Slot's system. It's still early days, but when a striker comes in there, that's another point of attack, and the system will change somewhat to make sure that we get the players in the right position to slide that striker in on goal for the last goal metric contribution, whether this is a direct shot or an assist. They will be there and thereabouts for that final decisive moment of play to hopefully end in the goal for the Reds. We'll see the scoreboard light up and Arne Slot will be on his way. La 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 la. Before I carry on, there's actually two things I want to show you. As always, I need to show a new piece of kit, right? So while I'm doing that kit, make sure you join the Discord forum. We have daily banter there. Oh, a good laugh. Smash a like on this video, help this video get seen. Subscriber count over 5,000. Domo arigato minasan. Thank you so much. Hontoni urishi. Really happy. It means a lot to me. Just grab this box. Don't know what it is. This package. Let's see what it is. But before we do on this package, I just wanted to show you this food book that I picked up from 2nd Street, a secondhand store in Japan. The way that the artist shows Japanese food is absolutely mouth-watering. You'll see what I mean soon. I mean, that looks delicious, right? And really is the land of fried chicken karage, shredded lettuce on rice. Beautiful bento boxes. The Japanese wives wake up way too early to make the most exquisite, delicious bento boxes for the kids. I mean, really nutritious and delicious. Stewed soup and the freshness of sushi. Braised meats on rice. Chahan fried rice and yakisoba noodles. And my personal favorite, yakiniku barbecue grilled meats. Miyazaki Wagyu is #1 in the world. None of that Kobe crap. Miyazaki Wagyu, Ichiban, Miyazaki man, Ichiban. Channel substance in abundance. I mean, really, this just whets my appetite. Hokkaido king crab. I digress just a tiny bit. Here we go, kit. Ooh la la, ooh la la. This could be one of my favorites. Nike, just do it. Now this, I think I wanted this for a long time. I even asked where this could be found. This previous season's tracky set. Is it a drill kit? I couldn't find it anywhere until one site in Japan miraculously had one left in stock M size on sale. Miyazaki man is just a smidgen under 173 centimeters tall. Above average in Japan, by the way. Actually pretty tall for Japan. But I love this color. And this drill strike top, textured sleeves on the arm, and the tracky bottoms. We got to get this on right now. goodness, I feel like £1,000,000, which isn't actually that much, by the way. It's like 6 grand, but still a decent amount. Your boy is ready for pre-season. Waiting for Slot to give me my debut and unleash the Miyazaki man. I'm still player coach for J-League, non-league, Lucha FC. So come on, NFC. Bosman transfer. Call me. But yes, we have a lot of players, a lot of ball players that will thrive under Arne Slot's system. The Harvey, Elliott, Fabio Carvalho, Alexis McAllister, who I believe will play in between the lines and not necessarily as a high up 10, because he doesn't need to be that last man to thread the ball through. Harvey Elliott can do it. Szoboszlai has a long shot. He can do it. Probably better at the end of balls, as I mentioned. Berg probably between the lines as well. Tyler Morton sitting deeper. Bajcetic sitting deeper as well. This is a really, really good foundation for slot ball. Tyler Morton's performance will put into question marks around people who are desperate for number 6. Sure, an athletic number 6 who can cover the lines as well. Someone like an Edison from Atalanta. Even a UEFA for a system, even though I don't believe we're in for UEFA, because I don't think he's the complete package Arne Slot would want to improve the standards of the squad. Azubi Zumendi is a playmaker, but we have Tyler Morton and Bajcetic who kind of do the same things as well. And I don't think his ceiling is higher than Bajcetic or even Tyler Morton's, because Tyler Morton is subtly impressive in what he does. He quietly goes around his business. He's very composed. He demands the ball, and he's a pivot that's highly reliable. Look at whole base the game around Tyler Morton getting the ball, and his exposure to that league and that physicality only put him in good stead. And he's homegrown as well. It doesn't count towards a foreign quota. And he won't complain about the minutes that he gets. In my mind, he's probably already jumped ahead of James McConnell in the pecking order. And that's not even talk about Bobby Clark, who really has a role to play this season. I think Bobby Clark is really well-rounded and will get a lot more minutes than people expect. And Ben Doak is really, really direct, and he's got amazing attributes in terms of pace, acceleration, taking a man on, beating a man. But he really needs to improve the final product in terms of being clinical with decision making, his crossing and his shooting. I don't see the power in his shooting yet. I hope he can develop that. Raheem Sterling never really had the power. He scored one cracker. Was it against Blackburn? I can't remember. But he scored one cracker. But apart from that, his whole career is arriving at the back post late on to slot something away, beating one man or shooting it in with a curled effort. He hasn't really got the power in a shot. I hope Ben Doak can develop those thighs, those thunder thighs, to thundercoon a shot in from the wide channels, or at least play someone in. I really think, for example, Blair had a penalty shout that should have been a penalty. And speaking of youngsters, Sepp van den Berg was very, very composed. He showed a turn of pace as well. He is dominant in the air. Every team needs a good ginger, and Sepp van den Berg could be the answer to the 4th, 5th choice centre-back, because that's what really we're looking for, right? Van Dijk, Konate, even Joao Quanta, they're more or less in the first rotation, as is Joe Gomez either on the fullbacks or in the centre-back rotation. And you add Sepp van den Berg to that mix, that is a pretty good mix, and he'll get the run-outs in the EFL Carabao Cup, and perhaps in the early stages of Champions League group matches, or when you try and see a game out as well. Sepp van den Berg is a deceptively good player, good package of a player who's Dutch and will have an opportunity. And he is probably a 15 plus, 20 plus million rated player at this current moment. And that's the kind of thing I think we would be looking for. We'd be looking for Sepp van den Berg, but we've already got him already, so why not utilise him? Give him the reassurances that he will get enough playing time, and I hope we do keep him because he's got something about him. And now this video has been super, super positive from what I've seen, because I really adore the tactical side of 1-0 victories as well, creating those opportunities and the passage of plays. Still early days, but on the negative side of things, this style of play has its risks as well. If the sharpness is not there from the player to take the ball on the run, on the turn, in the spaces, you're going to experience high turnovers. And if the forwards are slacking a bit or not on the same wavelength as the players trying to slot them in, I talked about slotting in Darwin Núñez at the first moment of opportunity to get him in there. If they're not on the same wavelength, we'll be caught offside a dozen times. And players in the forward positions can get frustrated if the ball isn't given to them, because they are not involved in the build-up as much as a Klopp system that goes back to front to get Mane, Firmino, Salah on the ball as quickly as possible. In this system, the midfielders will have a lot of time on the ball until they see the opportune time to release the ball to a forward player to make the decisive impact. And if Núñez, Gakpo, Jota, Lucho Diaz can look at the opportune time to influence the game and make their runs, I think good things will happen. And this particular system as well also is good on legs, because the ball will move faster than you ever will with the ball. If you're reliant on 100-mile-an-hour sprints multiple times a match, running onto the ball, running into the through space, then you're going to burn out quickly and suffer injuries. Where this patient build-up, methodical build-up with logic behind it to look for the opportune times, I think will minimise the amount of times you need to sprint to have a decisive impact. I think we may not be set up to counter-attack as quickly as Jurgen Klopp's system, but in terms of general football play, I'm really excited by this style of play. It's about game management. Tactical awareness of positions and possibilities, and putting the ball into a position that is positive, offensive, sexy slot football, the slot machine. Really excited about our prospects this season. And with the team shaping up the way it's shaping up, Slot mentioned as well, it's not easy to come to Liverpool team because of the quality of the squad and the quality of the players already here. It means it's going to be a decisive player coming in through the window for Slot's machine dream to operate at full functionality. And I'm so excited. Minasan, everybody, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Smash the like already if you enjoyed this video. If you agree with what I said, let me know in comments below. If you disagree, let me know as well. I love to chat. I reply to all comments personally. I really get involved in football discussion. Join the Discord as well. We banter every single day. Until next time, Miyazaki man, Ichiban. And with substance in abundance. Until next time, Janet means ciao.